Hello, I'm Mark Hulmes, Dungeon Master for High Rollers, and welcome to another episode in our 10-day countdown to Campaign 2. This one is all about the Races of Aerois, which is our brand new campaign. It starts on July 1st, when you can watch it live at twitch.tv/yogscast or twitch.tv/highrollersdnd. You can catch that all at 5 p.m. BST, GMT. I'm not quite sure which one it will be. Which one are we in now? BST, I think. Check it out. Use the time converter to find out when it starts. VODs will all be uploaded to this YouTube channel, so make sure you like, subscribe, ding the bell, all of that YouTube stuff to get all the latest news and announcements from here. You can also follow us on Twitter at HighRollersDND, where we post all of our announcements, links to videos, links to streams, all of that good stuff. And I'm very pleased to say that Campaign 2 will also be available as an audio podcast. Links to all of this will be in the description below. Please check all of that out. But let us now talk about the Races of Aerois. The Races of Aerois are split into different generations, the first of which are called the Prime Races. The Prime Races consist of elves, dwarves, and orcs. The elves were imbued with the sky and the stars when they were created by the goddess Siaska. They built their homes in mountaintop cities so that they could be as close to the sky and stars as possible. But after the tragic events of the Sundering and the Dark War, the elves have split into several different types. High elves continue to live as they once did. They worship the sky and stars, they live in the sky cities, or as close to the sky and stars as they possibly can. They are very focused on magic and culture and beauty, and they represent the traditional elves that were first created. The Wild Elves, however, are an offshoot faction. They have returned to the ground below, where they have embraced more of their animalistic and aggressive nature. Wild Elves I refer to as the Viking Elves of Aerois. They'll take what they want, and if you have the strength to stop them, you might just earn their respect. There are no drow on Eros. This is for a number of reasons. Instead, there are the Ember Elves. These were created by the goddess Valnea. These were created to be great skills of craft and an artisan. They have jet black skin or stone grey skin. They have no hair and instead embed their skin with gemstones or metal and wear elaborate cloths and headscarves. They're very polite and they are masters of all craft. The dwarves were given the land, not just in the traditional sense of building great citadels and cities underground or into the bases of mountains, but also into the hills and the farmlands, the forests of the world. They are the great defenders. Landsguard dwarves are excelled in combat. They are masters of sword and axe and hammer and shield, and they are generally seen as defenders of the world itself. They will go around training others, forming armies, and lending their weapons where they can. The Pathswalker dwarves are more druidic in nature and instead focused on protecting and caring for the natural earth. They are the druids and rangers of this world, and they have mastered their art as well. Finally, the orcs were given the sea. Orcs are not the aggressive, villainous creatures you might expect from the core D&D rulebooks, and mechanically will be using the stats for half-orcs rather than the full-blooded orcs that you might see in something like Volo's Guide to Monsters. In Aerois, orcs are heroes of the sea. They are adventurers and sailors and explorers. They build floating villages, great fleets, and they travel around finding islands to inhabit and settle on. They love the pursuit of treasure and of great stories, and a lot of their culture is inspired by Polynesian, Samoan, similar kind of things. You'll get to see a lot more of those, hopefully in the full campaign. As planetary travel is a big part of Aerois, involving the planes and such, not all of the races are native to the planet itself or were created by Aerois' gods. Dragonborn came to Aerois on great golden crystalline ships as they fled their homeworld as it was being invaded. They have access to technology they don't quite understand, but they're militaristic in nature and are dedicated to protecting the new planet that gave them safe haven. Tieflings and Aasimar are more like interplanetary travelers. They have sought refuge on Aerois from fiendish homeworlds and tyrants and many of the other space entities living out in the dark beyond. Tieflings use the variant Devil's Tongue rule, and they're sort of the merchant traders of Aerois. They'll travel around in these giant nomadic packs, buying things here, selling things there, always with a deal or a scam ready to go. They are the charmers, the tricksters, and the witted of the world. The Aasimar, on the other hand, see themselves as the great protectors, challenged by celestial beings, divine beings, entities they don't quite fully understand, to bring peace and justice for all those on all worlds. They've settled on Erois and have taken particular charge of making sure the Tieflings stay out of trouble, but also protecting the Tieflings from those that might want to harm them as well. Genasi are another race from another world, although this one they didn't come willingly. Due to an experiment with planar magic, their city of Vortensar was brought to Erois and is now stuck there, unable to leave. The Genasi were at first aggressive and conflicted with those of Erois, but over the centuries, peace has ensued, and now they're desperately trying to work together to find a way to send Vortensar home. Of course, with more races coming out from Wizards of the Coast in new rulebooks, there's lots of opportunities for new races from other planets to arrive. The Shadar Kai, for example, might come from a dead moon full of undead where they've struggled to survive. Perhaps they'll find their way to Erois. The Githyanki are these space pirates flying around in space, attacking travelers, these planar travelers that they can find. Perhaps some good aligned Githyanki or Githazariel, I can never remember how you pronounce their names, perhaps they might find their way to Erois eventually as well. There are many other races in Erois, quite obviously. All the ones from the Player's Handbook are pretty much present, as are many of the others from supplemental books, and I don't think I can really cover them all in this video, so I'm going to just talk about a few standouts right now. Aarakocra were created by one of the gods of Erois to sort of act as messengers. They have a prestigious position within Erois culture, where they deliver messages between the Sky Cities and the Lowlands, as well as act as couriers for smaller goods. Think a sort of very well-respected flying postal service. Aarakocra have a rich culture and are very dedicated to the god that created them. Beastwalkers are an animalistic humanoid race that have different traits from different animals. Some might have senses like a wolf's and fangs, others could have powerful legs and long furred ears like a rabbit's. They all tend to have bestial traits, hairy arms, thick hair, flat noses, that sort of thing, but generally they can appear in very different forms. They band together in tribes, and whilst most folk think them to be quite simple or savage, there is a cunning intelligence that many underestimate. Apparently, when asked for why they were created by the gods of Erois, they're pretty tightly lipped about it, stating that all will be revealed in time. Finally, the last one I want to talk about are Guardians, living constructs made from stone, metal, and wood. These were created by the dwarves of old and the gods themselves. They created a device called a Matrix of Will, which gives the Guardians a sense of personality and sentience that is missing from other constructs like golems. The Matrix of Will lasts only 15 years, but needs magic and certain special techniques to restore it and give it new energy. Sadly, with the destruction of the Sundering and the Dark War, the secret has been lost, and so many Guardians go feral or simply shut down as their matrices degrade. Some of them, however, are able to enter a low power state, shutting themselves completely off from the outside world and preventing their matrix from degrading. These Guardians do find themselves out of place and out of time when they awaken to a world very different to the one that they went to sleep in. There are so many more races I could talk about, but we simply don't have the time, so you're just going to have to tune in to Campaign 2 of Erois on July 1st and watch it live and explore the world with us as we play. Don't forget, that's July 1st on twitch.tv/Yogscast or twitch.tv/HighRollersDND, 5 PM BST, GMT, whichever one. Use a world time converter, switch it up, and tune in to watch us live. VODs will be available here on YouTube, so please do like, subscribe, ding the bell, all of that good stuff, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at HighRollersDND for any more announcements. I've been Mark Hulmes, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you continue to enjoy our 10-day countdown. We've got more characters to reveal and a few more blitz of lore for you to share as well. Take care, I'll see you in Erois.